Today we are going to be solving one of RuneScape 3's biggest problems, which is your player UI, the thing you will interact with every single time you log into the video game. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the command center, the overall settings that opens up every single tab in the video game and give you a general idea of what you may need to set up your own UI. In addition to learning about everything that the command center has to offer, you will also learn how to load in other players' UIs to be able to just load those in and not have to worry about building your own. I hope you liked the video. Please be sure to subscribe if you're interested in anything else RuneScape 3 related, and let's get right into it. The most important box inside of the interface is easily this little box here, the central control hub of what I like to call it. Inside of your control hub, you have pretty much every single menu you'll possibly need, and let's break them down from starting from the top left all the way down to the settings gear. Inside your heroes tab here, you're going to have your skills, which will show all of your current stats alongside with your inventory, worn equipment. And if you are brand new to the game, you'll have this thing called achievement paths. Your achievement paths provide a easy breakdown of what you should be going to if you have no idea where to begin in the game. Highly recommend following along if you're brand new to the game. If you are seasoned, there is no need to follow the overall path. Or if you're following a guide on YouTube or Wiki, you're perfectly fine to follow that and close it out completely. You can close all the interfaces by using the top right corner and clicking the little X to close it. And if you ever need to reopen it, you can go back to the tab inside of the hub and then reopen it that way. That is for every single little block that we're going to go over. You can find all of them inside of the central control hub as their little icons appear. Next is your customizations tab. Your customizations tab actually does not even have a pop-up window for it. What it does is that if you click it and open it, it gives you everything that you need to customize your characters. If you would like to see a full breakdown of how you want to customize your characters, I can provide that video. Just leave me a comment below. However, it is pretty extensive. It's every single override that is provided into the game, and you can use it to fully customize your character. It will include any type of animations that you may like to change out for skilling, spells, walks, overhead skilling icons, rest icons, and combat animations. Your overall appearance, so if you would like to change how your character looks instead of how it looks by default, you are able to adjust it by going into the appearance tab, and you can change your hair, anything you'd like from here. You can even change the sex of your character just by going into here, changing it over to female, going back to male, changing your skin color, and if you have anything else additional to change in here, you can do it all in one central space as well. If you have any title unlocks, you can activate them, or you can view any titles you have not unlocked by clicking the tiny icon here at the bottom left to show all of the items that you have not unlocked, and there are an extensive amount of things to go through. This can give you a nice little goal of what you may want to be working towards next, and also will provide you another layer of customization towards your character. If you have locked any pets in the game, you can do the same exact thing in the Pets tab. This will show all the types of pets you may have and if you may have any questions about. And that is a very general breakdown of the Customizations tab. You can also hit the little help icon right next to the top right corner if you need a further text breakdown. Next is your Adventures tab, which will have your quest log and any activity tracker. Again, the activity tracker will pop up and it will give you an idea of what you could be working towards next. If you do not want to be following this, again, because you're following a different type of guide, don't really want, or would you like to play guideless, you can perfectly just close this out. There is no need to have that open. Your quest log is going to be the best item to be following along with because it will give you a breakdown of every single quest inside the video game. You can sort out this list very easily by alphabetical, area, if there's combat, the time that the quest is in, free members, length, progress, the release date, if it is part of a quest series. This is my favorite portion because there are a ton of quests inside of RuneScape 3, and if you'd rather be following a storyline and complete all of them that way, this will give you that very easy breakdown of that. Next is the Powers tab, which will have all of your combat abilities located conveniently inside of the little tab here. You have all of your melee triggered abilities, which are your attack and strength builds. You have your ranged abilities, your magic abilities, necromancy, defensive, then you have your prayers, and as well as your familiar details. When you open up the melee ability book, what will happen is you will see a set of abilities for the combat skill. For example, you clicked melee, it's going to show you all the attacks it'll show you all the abilities that are tied to your attack skill. So if you want to use the ability Slice, it's just going to be based on your attack skill. For the melee tab here, this will show you all of your melee skills based on your strength and attack levels, and they are split up by skill. The sword icon will be all of your attack abilities, and all of your strength abilities will be with the fist icon located on the top left corner. All of these abilities are going to be available to you based on the level of that respective skill. So if you want to use any of the abilities inside of this book, you're going to need the respective attack level. Same thing with strength. That goes with all of the abilities inside of the other ability books, just for your awareness. Inside of your magic tab, it is going to contain a large number of sub tabs. Your very first block here will be your magic abilities, all of the abilities you'll be casting with the magic skill. Next to it will be your combat spells. I'm currently on the ancient spellbook, so if you're on the normal spellbook, it will look a little bit different than this. Ancient spells are unlocked later inside of the game. These will lay out all the spells that will be active passively as you are using your abilities. Next to it is all of your magical teleports. This will also include your lodestone teleports if you activate the filter on the top right. If you'd like to see any utility skills, anything that is utility based for the magic spellbook, you can click the icon that looks like with 3 coins and a little potion. You click those ones, and then all of your utility spells will be available here. For necromancy, it will be very, very similar with your necromancy-based abilities here located inside of the tab. And then for your incantations, which are very similar to how your spells work, you're going to have them available right next to it as well. For your defensive abilities, this will have 2 abilities based in here. The shield will be your defense skill, so everything in here will be based on your defensive level, and your constitution abilities will base everything on your constitution, which is basically everything based on your hit points. Your defensive abilities will be laid out as well. Some of them will be available to you already at level 1. Most of them should be available as you progress through the skill. Same with the constitution abilities. This will also have a lot of ability unlocks that you will progress throughout the game. This way, if you accidentally remove one of your abilities from your ability bars, or if you're looking for something very specific from a guide, wiki, so on and so forth, buddy recommended to you, you're able to pull them up and locate them all in the Powers tab. Next is your prayer tab, which will list all of your available prayers for you. You can activate them from the book itself. You do not have to tie them into your ability bars or anything like that. You can simply turn them on from the book, freeing up those ability slots on your bar. Lastly, in your powers book, you're going to have your familiar details. For your familiar details, you will see a blank box unless you have a familiar summoned. Inside of your familiar window will provide you all the information you may need for it. Very helpful thing for this is this little information tab here, which will provide you all the details that your familiar will be providing to you. This is very handy if you're not entirely sure what your familiar will be granting you. You can renew your familiar, dismiss your familiar. If your familiar is far away from you, you can call them. It will provide you how long your familiar will be lasting, and then it will give you a cute little icon of its head, how much life points it has, if it has how many familiar spell points that you have with the skill. You can ask your familiar, you can command your familiar to attack. You can adjust any settings in relation to your familiar. It'll take you into the settings window to adjust all of those. No need to look into that now. Basic rundown on everything you may need with the familiar window, and again, readily available in your powers tab. Next tab is going to be your community tab. Your community tab has a lot of options here. The most important one out of all of these will be all chat. Every single chat box will be shown up in one simple window. You can diversify and show all of those things and break them down further with the additional tabs that are shown. However, your all chat can also be filtered to have those as well. If you'd like to see the further breakdown of those, we have your private chat, which is pretty much anytime you have a buddy that you want to message very personally, as opposed to showing that all in all chat. You can have friends chats if anybody wants, if you're inside of a friends chat, which is pretty much like joining a clan chat or joining a guild chat. This is very, very familiar to that. This is just trying to find different hubs of people at different times. This will separate them so you can only focus on one chat as opposed to seeing all of the chats in one gigantic window, which I'll chat will show you. You also have your clan chat, your guest clan chat, your group chat, Your friends list will show any of your friends that you may have added through your chats. Your friends chat will be showing another set if you are inside of a friends chat and list all the players inside there. Your clan list will give a breakdown of all the people inside of your clan. Your trade and assist window is if a player is trying to actively trade you, the request will show up right here. And that is all the things inside of your community tab. Again, this is your all chat is going to be your most important window because it will simply list and group everything together. If you want to filter this by any means, you can simply click these little icons, hover over it, it'll tell you which one you're going to be filtering. So say I don't want to see my friends chat, you can just double click this one and you will no longer see it. Just remember, if you're not going to get any of the details that you're looking for, be sure to click it one more time and it'll simply reactivate. But you can filter out everything you may need to with one simple window, as opposed to needing all of these other windows open. This is how I typically play the game. I only have the one window open. There's no need to have all of the extra ones. Next is the upgrades and extras. Your upgrades and extras will have the benefits of your membership. If you want to go to the Solomon store and purchase anything for cosmetics, your treasure hunter stuff, which will hopefully be disabled. There's currently an experiment going on where you cannot access treasure hunter because the game is currently going through a overhaul on the microtransaction system. And then your marketplace, which can list all the things for any purchases that you may use with real world money or by using bonds. The Rune Metrics tab is a tab that is only unlocked by purchasing Rune Metrics, which is pretty much a very big breakdown of all the things you are doing inside of the game. I personally use it because I make content on the game and it allows me to track all the progress I am making. I will not recommend buying Rune Metrics because I don't believe it provides you as much value as you may need unless you are a complete data nerd. It will give you a big breakdown of all the things you may want to be seeing. However, if you do not want to purchase it, it does provide you with the metrics, basically showing you how many skills you unlock and how much XP you're gaining throughout your RuneScapian journeys. And lastly is the gear tab, which will have notepads. So if you wish to take any notes while you are in the game, say you want to keep track of where something may be or where anything inside of the game may be located, or you just want to try and remember your buddy's name, you can put that in the notes right here and keep that in mind. For myself, I like to list clans I like to join as a guest to be a part of multiple communities. I also like to list friends chats that I frequent regularly because it makes it easy to just refer to that inside of your settings gear tab. Additionally, if you like playing with in-game music, you are able to open up the music player, and the music player will show you every single soundtrack that is unlocked in RuneScape. RuneScape has one of the largest soundtracks in any video game known to man, and they are complete bangers. Highly recommend checking that out. It will give you a list of everything that is inside of the game, and you can also use the shuffle icon to be able to play whatever you'd like. You can also create a playlist inside of here and play whatever your favorite tune is. When you click the settings gear tab, you're going to be greeted with everything here. You have your player management window going over all the icons and providing them for you simply here. You have the overall settings, which takes you into the gameplay and extensive settings for anything that you may be looking for. And then you can also edit your loadout. If you'd like to adjust how your screen overall looks, you can open up the edit layout, and I will go over my preferred presets for all of your interface needs, so that instead of having to craft and sculpt your own interface, you may simply load from a player. We're going to get into that into a moment. However, if you want to go into advanced settings and play with your overall UI and adjust things as you wish, you may do all of that here. If you have any questions or any kind of concern, the wiki is your greatest friend to provide you any details you may like from that. However, as a new player, I actually do not recommend for you to make any of these changes yourself. Main reason why is because it is very confusing, and while you are still learning the game, having to battle the UI is probably the worst part of trying to figure out what you have to do because you're fighting everything else. So say you don't want to build your own UI. It is a very, very complicated process to be able to create your own command center. And for this, Jagex has solved that by clicking, if you click the gear tab here, you're going to load up the the options menu, you click edit loadout. You're gonna go to load layout from a player. I'm gonna use my Iron Man as an example. You type in that player and then you'll have the custom loadout available to you. You simply pick whichever one you'd like to use and you're good to go. And now I have my entire interface fixed up just like how I would use it on my Iron Man. Once you've loaded in the preset and you want to say you want to adjust a couple things, you can go ahead and adjust those as needed. You can move things around and then you're good to go. And then once you've adjusted everything you may want to, you can hit save and exit, hit save, and then you're perfectly solid. Now you have a UI that you may want to be using. This isn't the most ideal one in my opinion. I have looked up a number of examples of UIs that I think that would be very good if you're trying to build yourself a nice command center. These are UIs taken from the PVME Discord from players who provided nice, simple examples for you. I will provide the names of all the players inside of the UIs that I do recommend. However, if you'd like to look at the UIs exactly, you can go into the PVME Discord and they'll be able to help you out. These are the two UIs that I highly recommend for players to use as a default and slowly build upon. It will list out all the things you may need and have everything assorted for you, and you can slowly build down and chip away from them if you'd like. And in addition to that, if you'd like to not even see all of this stuff, you can go into your settings, go into settings again, scroll all the way down. You see additional options, and if you'd like to have a very simple RuneScapean experience, you can use the legacy interface. What the legacy interface does is create a very simplified way of playing RuneScape. These are best played on screens that are smaller and allows for a lot of flexibility in how you adjust it, because it will adjust to your UI in general. This is perfect for skilling, questing, or if you're doing any type of a very easy combat like Slayer or just AFKing some skills. Again, if you want to find the settings option, it is this little tiny gear on the bottom right here. Hit settings again. If you'd like to go back to the regular one, go back to gameplay, scroll back down, hit interface, legacy interface mode, and then it'll reset all your things back to what it was. And then because I play in full screen, I have to reset this to full screen, and you're good to go. Inside the command center, you're going to see this icon here at the top right. Customization is disabled. Click here to enable customization. You'll unlock this, which then allows your UI to be moved around. So if you want to adjust and place things wherever you'd like to, simply click the bar on the top right corner and it will allow you to drag. If you want to resize and refit this to any way you'd like, you may then hold the top portion till you have these little arrows, or you can pick it from the corner. You can drag it in any way you'd like to in that way. You can do that for every single way, every single bar on the inside the game. You can adjust this however you'd like, see as much or as little as you'd like. You can also do it for your ability bars and adjust them however you'd like, making them short, sideways, or vertical. I personally like to have them playing on stretched out this way. It fits my UI the best. However, you can adjust it however you would like. And that is a very simple breakdown of the UI. I hope this helps you get your foot in the door in understanding a little bit more about how your system can work for you and work not for you. There's a lot of ways I highly recommend solving this problem simply by reading through whatever is available to you. If you have any questions on it, you can also highly recommend using the edit layout and loading in from a player that you may know. If you are playing this game by yourself and you're not entirely sure how you'd like to begin your UI, you can use my name, in-game name, Edimmuz, Edimmuz, and load it in that way and pick one of my layouts and adjust it as you'd see. It has every single tab that you may possibly want to be using. I also play on ultra wide monitors, so if you're very curious about what that would end up looking like, you can adjust and plug and play like that if needed. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was able to help you. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. I'd happily be able to help you out. And anybody else, if you are watching this video and you are a seasoned player as well, help out the new guys that are coming into the game, and I'd love to have your feedback on it. If you liked the video, be sure to subscribe and catch the next upload, as well as catching up on any of the final boss episodes you may have missed before. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, leave a like, tell me a comment of what you'd like to see next, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace! Peace!